Greetings, royal family. I am back and I'm happy to be back. Did you miss me? Listen, we're going to get right into it. If this is your first time here and you clicked on my video, thank you. Kick back, relax. We're going to talk about some things, get into some things. If you want to continue to join in on the conversations that we have here with the royal family, click subscribe, hit the notification button, all that good stuff. Be sure to check out my other content. For my returning subscribers, how y'all doing? Okay? Blac Chyna. Let's just get right into it. The Real Blac Chyna. So, episode 3 aired yesterday. What is today? Monday? Yeah, yesterday night. And I'm keeping up. I'm keeping up for y'all. You know what I mean? It is slightly entertaining, but I have to tell you, this is really rough to watch. Like, I'm getting a little bit tired of the disrespect, of the drama, and it's just like, can this relationship even be repaired? Like, is all hope gone? I think, I don't know, man, anything's possible. But they basically opened the episode where they left off last week with Treasure, Ashton, I think his name is, the assistant, and Tokyo. They're in the park and they're confronting each other, and they're trying to hash things out and trying to get Tokyo in a calm state so that she can sit down and have a conversation with her daughter. And Treasure and Tokyo are going at it. You know, Treasure is, it can be said that she's being disrespectful because Tokyo is an elder. However, Treasure is a grown woman and deserving of respect as well. And I feel like Treasure was defending herself. Should she have had a little bit more patience? Probably, because that is her best friend's mother. However, we don't know. We can only imagine what she had to endure throughout the years of dealing with Tokyo. If, like, this is a glimpse of what we're seeing, I can only imagine, like, what hasn't been filmed over the years. Anyway, so they're in the park. They're still going back and forth. And Treasure is standing facing Tokyo with her hands. So Treasure is standing there with her hands behind her back. And she's talking to Toni, you know what I mean? She's letting her know, like, look, you know what I mean? You're not going to disrespect me. Toni is waving her hands in Treasure's face, but purposely Treasure stood there with her hands behind her back because she did not want to come across as the aggressor. But Treasure was holding her own. You know, she just basically stated, like, you know, you're not going to say whatever it is that you want to say to me. So Toni, as usual, you know, was cursing, carrying on, saying that she wanted to get out of here. She goes in the car, and Ashton is trying to get the two to come back together. And, you know, they apologize. Treasure apologized, and they hugged. You know, Ashton is in his glory. He's acting like, you know, he really cares, and he's so excited. So that was the end of that scene. Fast forward, it was really refreshing to see Chyna doing something other than focusing on her mom and arguing with her mother. So Chyna has a brick and mortar store called Lashes. So she does lashes, she does makeup, she wants to do like waxing, you know, manicures, pedicures, kind of like basically like a spa type environment. She stated that the store has been closed for some time, and she's trying to do a relaunching, a reopening, so that she can make some money. Like, she has the space and it's just sitting there closed. So Ashton and Chyna decide to go visit the store, and then there are people there trying to get things in order. Blac Chyna has a friend who does, I think he does makeup. He does makeup, and he's just checking out the place. She has 2 private rooms. It's a nice space, you know what I mean? It definitely is a nice space, and they're working on it so that she can reopen the store. So honestly, when I saw that scene and she was getting ready to go to the shop, and, you know, she got to the shop and everything like that, I was so excited. I was like, good. This is what I want to see. Like, I want to see what Chyna is doing as far as business mogul Chyna. You know what I mean? So it was good to see. Although it didn't really give much, but at least we know that she has like actual brick and mortar business, and she's working. You know what I mean? She's actually working. So on the way there was a fan that stopped and wanted to take a picture, and, you know, Chyna was real la-di-da about it. She was real regular. Took a picture with the lady. I mean, with the young girl. Said that, oh, you know, you're so sweet, you're so beautiful. So I guess they tried to incorporate that into the show to make it seem like Chyna is real down to earth, I guess. Not saying that she is or she isn't, but, you know, I thought that was a good idea. So, you know, fast forward past all of that, we then, another showdown. So Toni agreed to have a sit-down dinner with Chyna. That was the whole objective of Treasure and Ashton going to meet up with Chyna, with Toni in the park. So here it is. Chyna gets all dolled up, and she arrives at the restaurant. She said that she's very nervous. She doesn't know what to expect. You know, she hasn't seen her mother since that whole debacle and like outburst in her kitchen with her mother on the first episode. And here in comes Toni. Toni has her red lipstick. Oh no, prior to that, I'm sorry, y'all. Prior to that, we see Tokyo go and visit a friend of Chyna. I don't remember his name, but let me tell you something. He seems to be familiar with the shenanigans that's going on between Tokyo and Chyna. And he's not taking sides, but you can tell that he is familiar with Toni's BS. But honey, when he came down in his potato sack, like he had an outfit on that literally looked like a potato sack. I lost it. I was just like, what is going on here? I'm totally confused. So Toni sat and spoke with him. And again, I said this before, I think that Toni is extremely delusional and her sense of reality is skewed. Like it really is skewed and it's not fake. Like she really has an altered sense of reality. Because as she's telling this friend, this mutual friend of hers and Chyna's, she's just basically telling him that, you know, Chyna tried to throw a chair at me. She tried to throw a vase at me. She cursed me out. She said, well, I did throw a flip-flop, but it's a flip-flop, you know, like, you know, how many times, I'm a black mother, you know, how many times have you got a flip-flop upside your head for talking out of turn? And the guy is laughing, like nervously laughing, and he's not co-signing any of her nonsense. And he says to her, you know, you guys need to sit down and talk, but you need to be willing to listen. I feel that he's playing the, you know, the neutral role because he knows that Toni is bat spit crazy. He knows it. You can tell. He was just sitting there listening to her. You know, he wasn't co-signing. He wasn't saying like, oh my God, I can't believe Chyna did that. So they hug. And, you know, like I said, fast forward the scene where Tokyo and Chyna are sitting down. So Tokyo enters the restaurant. Tokyo has on a red jumpsuit, red lipstick, red eyeshadow. She is just like ready. She comes, you know, ready for battle. You know what I mean? Colors say a lot about people. But anyway, so they sit down and I got confused, you know what I mean? And I don't get confused very easily or very often, but I got confused because here it is. Toni is talking, you know, they first sit down. It was weird. It was an awkward silence. And Chyna wasn't the one to break the ice. She didn't say anything at first. So Toni starts talking. And Toni is talking about a lot of nothing. Nothing was cohesive. Nothing made any sense. Like I said, her perception of reality is skewed. She started talking about how she doesn't want fame. She doesn't care about social media. Whatever it is that I did, I'm sorry. Whatever it is, I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry. Let's pause. One of my hundreds of pet peeves is when people attempt to apologize and they hit you with the, for whatever I did, I'm sorry. No. If you cannot acknowledge what it is that you've done, if you cannot not acknowledge my feelings when I try to express myself to you, keep your BS apology. I hate that. I think that is so insulting. It insults my intelligence personally. What do you mean, whatever I did, I apologize? That is not even showing me any sort of respect. It's not showing any sort of like, you know, accountability on your end. So miss me with that. Anyway, Toni also started to say things like, I look outside of the box. Everybody is in this box, and I've always been the one outside of the box. You got people around you that don't care about you. I just want my Angie. Now, in the midst of this, you can see that she's going through a range of like sequences in her head. She's crying. She is sweating profusely. Like, she is sweating like she is under interrogation lights. The entire time, China is sitting there like, oh, okay, Toni literally talked for, I would have to say, a good like 4 to 6 minutes of that scene. Literally, like 4 to 6 minutes. When China attempted to ask her, to explain or basically say anything, Toni wouldn't let her talk at all. China started to say, well, what do you mean by there's people around me that like don't care about me and things like that. Then she asked her, she said to her mother, I put myself through college. Like, I paid for you to go to school. This is what Toni said. China says, you paid for me to go to school? No, you didn't. No, you didn't pay for me to go to school. Tokyo, I didn't say I paid for you to go to school. I was like this. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. She literally like just said that. I never said I paid for you to go. She literally said she paid for her to go to school, for her daughter to go to school. And then a few seconds later turned around and said that she didn't say that. So what I gathered from that scene, nothing was resolved. China had to excuse herself to go to the bathroom, and her mic was still on, and she basically wasn't buying the crocodile tears and the BS. And because Toni was really like crying, having a meltdown, sweating, and snot coming out her nose. Her baby hairs were being, were sweating out and things like that. And China was not buying it. China had on her poker face, and she wasn't buying it. She was not buying it. And China tried to confront her about things that she said about her being, calling her a slut and calling her all types of derogatory names, to which Tokyo says, you were a grown woman at the time. As if that's justification for calling your daughter a slut and a whore. So basically, once China did not reach out to her mom and give her a hug and buy this whole, Academy Award winning performance that Toni put on, then Tokyo came out, honey. Oh, I don't care. She started, those tears dried up quick, and she started to get very, antsy. She started to get very insulting and ignorant. She started cussing at her daughter. She started, tell me, show me where I go on social media. I don't go on. The devil came out. So I asked, royal family, is it possible that there are certain relationships that are just beyond repair? You know what I mean? Because at this point, what do? Nothing was resolved. Nothing, Tokyo would not let China speak at all. Like, you literally talked for a whole 4 to 6 minutes, and China said nothing. She sat there and looked you in your face and was literally tight-lipped, didn't interject, didn't say anything. But when it was time for her to express herself, you shut her down, you cut her off. Like, now let me tell you something. I am not a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist, but my 2 degrees in psychology, with an emphasis in behavioral analysis, I think I am qualified to say that I feel that Tokyo Toni has a case of schizophrenia, along with maybe some sort of post-traumatic stress syndrome. Reason being is, and I'm not saying that to be funny, I'm saying because she literally does not, like, she really believes. She will say in 1 minute, I paid for your school. And then this couple of seconds later, I never said that, and will be ready to fight. Like, she switches. Like, you can see it in her eyes. So I really feel that she is undiagnosed, and I feel like she really should get some help. In the media, on social media a couple of days ago, she said that she was going to be writing a book. She said it in a reality show too. And she's going to be outing Blac Chyna. She's revealed that China had an abortion with Future's baby when her and Future were dating. And it's like, you're putting out all of this for what? I really think that she has a case. There's schizophrenia involved, along with some post-traumatic stress as well. And I really feel that she definitely should be seeking help from a professional. There's a chemical imbalance there, because she could be doing it for the camera, but you know, her social media rants as well. You know, she went off on Wendy Williams the other day. She just goes off on everyone. And like I said, her sense of reality is skewed. She takes no accountability for any of her actions. And I have said this in every review of this show. And it's really dangerous, because she is walking around thinking that what she is doing is perfectly fine and it's all right, and she's a victim. And I'm going to answer my own question. I feel that regardless of the association, whether it's biological or it's a friend, you know, colleague, business partner, I feel that when a relationship is toxic in this magnitude, I think it is best you got to step away. And I know that this is Chyna's mama, and she just wants to live it up with her mother. She wants to repair it with her mother. And I believe that Tokyo wants to repair it too. But I feel that there is something that's got a hold of Toni, of Tokyo Toni, that she herself can't even shake or control. It is like she's very impulsive. You know, she has no inhibition. She just she can't control herself. And yes, it's manipulative. And sometimes when people go through certain things, or when they have like trauma in their lives, it really changes them as a person. And I think that when she was crying, I really believe that she was hurt about the situation. And it was a cry for help, obviously, along with all of her other, you know, erratic behaviors. I believe it's a cry for help. And then in the instant, she switched because she wasn't getting that love. So there's some post-traumatic stress there, some neglect issues there. And I would be really interested in hearing about Tokyo's story. I really wish that she would go on Iyanla, because Iyanla is really good about getting to the root and pulling things out. But for some reason, I don't think that Iyanla would take that on, because I don't feel that Toni is ready and she's in a position to do the work. Because look, Iyanla's going to give you an assessment. Her and her professional staff, they're going to give you an assessment. And if they deem that you're not ready to do the work and your intentions are not pure, she's not going to bother. So Royal Family, hopefully, for those of you who don't have Zeus TV, hopefully I gave you a good synopsis of this episode. For those of you that did see it, tell me what you think. Also, the question of the day, or the question that I'm posing, is it, even if it's a parent-child relationship, do you believe or do you feel that sometimes those relationships are beyond repair? And yeah, some of you shared your experiences with me slightly in the comments in my previous videos, and I appreciate it. And I'm wishing everyone well who may have like a toxic parent or a toxic family member. I'm really wishing you well, but don't feel guilty if you have to step back. And even if you have to sever ties for maybe an extended period of time, because your well-being is extremely important. If you can't love and take care of and nurture yourself, you're going to be of no use to anyone else. And abuse of any kind is not okay. It shouldn't be accepted. And I don't care if you have the same DNA and liquid gold, aka blood, coursing through your veins as, you know, the next person. It doesn't give them the right to shame you and to further bully you and abuse you. So be sure to like this video if you like it, Royal Family. Get down in the comments. Tell me what your thoughts are. Share your experiences. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Respectfully, as always. And let me know what you think about toxic relationships beyond friendships, like family members. If you have a toxic family member or two, share your experiences. How do you deal with it? You know, your comment may be able to help someone else. So Royal Family, this wraps up another episode of The Real Black China. As far as next episode, I just want to see now the business side of China. I mean, as far as Tokyo Toni is concerned, I feel like China should just kind of put that on hold. She has children that she has to take care of. And hopefully, if her mom is willing to seek help, as well as China herself, professional help, it's worth a try, you know? So, Royal Family, I love you for watching. I'm signing off. And as always, until next time, peace.